Nvidia is not going to be happy because Intel might be able to run their proprietary software. Sony decides that their games probably should be on PC as well as a PSVR update. And then Epic Games has a class action lawsuit that they're settling with V-Bucks. Let's get into the tech news today, my friends. I'm your Brett, host here at Hot News, where we deliver you the hottest tech news that's on the internet. So let's jump into the first story today, which is the announcement and release of the version 2 of CUDA, which is essentially a CUDA application runner on Intel graphics. This is a big deal because CUDA is one of the main features that people buy Nvidia graphics cards for. It's the reason that I'm running Nvidia in my current system, because running OpenCL on certain programs is not allowing me to get the effectiveness that I would otherwise want. So with this version 2, it allows for CUDA support to run on Intel graphics either on Linux or Windows. This was actually brought to our attention by somebody in our Discord, so you should totally check out our Discord server down at the link in the video description. But essentially, it's there to start running the execution of Geekbench CUDA benchmarks in order to try to see how this works and to get it running better. But essentially, the idea is there. Nvidia's CUDA stuff runs on other graphics. Now, if this could potentially be opened up to AMD hardware, that would just be the holy grail of you could buy more reasonably affordable hardware and you wouldn't have to be locked down into Nvidia's ecosystem and instead could do whatever you want. Now, likely that won't necessarily happen, because as soon as people start having some sort of freedom, Nvidia is going to come in and slap them with a lawsuit or just ask them to, hey, kindly stop doing that, sir. So don't necessarily hope that this is going to roll out and that the utopia is going to be upon us, but Intel graphics running CUDA acceleration is a brighter future for all of us. But your life can be richer with today's episode sponsor of Hot News, the Ridge Wallet, my friends. It's light, sleek, it's industrial, it doesn't fold or awkwardly bulge in your back pocket, and it seriously has changed my entire pocket situation. The Ridge Wallet holds everything that I need because I don't really keep cash, but in case I want to, it has a handy dandy little money clip on the back or a money strap on one of their other ones so that you can keep cash going around. And most people are still using wallets that were designed in the 90s, carrying around old receipts, pictures of whoever, people that you don't even care about. When we've moved from large flip phones to smartphones, everybody's carrying the same dang wallet. You now have the Ridge Wallet to solve that. It holds up to 12 cards plus room for cash, and there's over 30 colors and styles, including carbon fiber and burnt titanium, and my favorite, the stonewashed titanium. But I think Reece would also really like the matte white that I've got right here as well. And if this wasn't enough to win you over yet, there's over 40,000 5-star reviews. The durable material means each wallet comes with a lifetime warranty. You could buy this one wallet and carry it for life. And the Ridge team is so confident that you'll like it that they'll let you test drive it for 45 days, and you can send it back for a full refund if you don't love it. And you can get 10% off today with your order, plus free worldwide shipping and returns by going to ridge.com/hot news. Again, that's ridge.com/hot news. Use the code hot news to save that 10% and get free worldwide shipping. They're so slim and sleek. And what's sleek is this segue to Sony being sleek in transitioning their games onto PC, like I transitioned from sponsor to, you're welcome. I'm glorious at the segue game. Anyways, this is going to start with Days Gone coming to the PC sometime this spring, but Sony essentially acknowledging that they have ample opportunity to bring more of their PlayStation lineup over to the PC. And essentially, it just makes a whole lot of sense, especially for intellectual property that's already come out. Releasing any PlayStation exclusive game that came out for the PS4 onto PC right now gets people excited for whatever could be coming out for the PS5 and could potentially drive up hardware sales on their console in this generation. They don't have to release every game onto PC, just the ones that you're excited about. Put God of War onto PC right before the sequel drops, and you're probably going to get a lot of hype. Which, speaking of that, Jim Ryan, in all of this discussion, mentioned that Horizon Forbidden West should be coming out in 2021, but nary a mention of God of War was present because it's not coming out in 2021. Like, I don't know why they thought they could tell us that when they revealed it at first, but it's not coming out this year, my friends. So just God of War probably next year. Horizon Forbidden West probably this year. Also getting announced is the next generation VR headset. No looky-loos for us to see or release dates. It's definitely not going to be 2021, but it's going to have everything that you'd probably want. And improved field of view, resolution, and a single cord to make it a better experience, as well as things that they've implemented from their DualSense controller into the new controller that's going to go into this VR controller setup. So it's going to start issuing development kits for this sometime soon, and then hopefully get a better PSVR experience, because the first one was completely anus. I bought it, I returned it, did not like it. The resolution was awful. It just wasn't enjoyable to play anything on. But hopefully Sony, since they are committing to bringing out a next generation, will actually commit to the things that make VR good, and we might see the next generation adopted on PSVR, which is one of the most highly sold VR headsets in the entire world. But what's not going to be highly sold is Gran Turismo 7, at least not this year when it was supposed to come out, because it's been delayed to 2022. You're welcome. With Sony also announcing that Ratchet and Clank is going to be for free in case you want it. You don't need PlayStation Plus. It's going to be part of their play at home effort that they are re-upping between March 1st and March 31st. You'll be able to pick up Ratchet and Clank for free in case you want that. And there's also reports now coming out that Sony is developing a live action Twisted Metal TV series, which I don't have much to say about besides I'll wait. I'm not gonna try to, I guess. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, to be honest. But I'm not a visionary who makes TV shows. We have a few more pieces of game news to get into, but I hear something coming. Oh, it's the Bitcoin update, my friends. Bitcoin not doing so hot yesterday. Currently, as of filming, sitting at $48,000, down from its 24-hour high of roughly around $55,000. This is attributed to a whole lot of things, including the Treasury Secretary nominee Janet Yellen saying that Bitcoin doesn't make sense as a currency, but rather as a store of value, as well as just general fear going on in the market and potentially some profit taking that's been happening. But I want you to just stand by this, which is to all the newbies, this has never happened before. Bitcoin was only meant to go up. This is insane. I've never seen Bitcoin drop by 10% before, according to the analysts I follow, because they tell me what I want to hear. Bitcoin is meant to hit 250,000 by July. Now is definitely the time to panic, withdraw all your funds. If you see it going back up after you sell, make sure to wait for it to go up even more and then FOMO back in. This is financial advice. I'm a financial advisor. We'll be sending you bill in the mail. Get into it, friends. And that's the end of the Bitcoin update. And there's also going to be an update to Tony Hawk's Pro Skater Remaster. It's coming out to the PS5, Xbox Series X, and Switch. The PS5 and Series X getting an enhanced edition that can run it up to 120 frames per second or 4K 60. And the Switch will potentially be coming out sometime in 2021. But the PS5 and Series X are coming out March 26th. The Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is not coming out. We don't know. It's been delayed indefinitely. Not happening. Intel not delaying their performance gains because the 11900K benchmarks have come out, and in single core it slaps. It is a big boy. 716 beating the 5950X in single thread CPU Z benchmark performance. In multi-threaded it loses to the 5800X, which you have to compare it to because it's 8 cores. Obviously it's going to lose to a 16 core multi-threaded application, so that doesn't look as good. But single core looking quite Intel best gaming processor again. I'll tell you what Nvidia is the best at, confusing the crap out of me with all of their products. There's apparently more information coming out about an RTX 3060 6GB, which was posted because Palette did a certification status result with the South Korean National Radio Research Agency, and you can see right here it has an RTX 3060 6GB. Now it's not known if this is actually coming out, if this is just a filing, and if there's anything fundamentally different between this regular 3060 with 12 gigs and this 3060 with 6 gigs, because we had that issue 2 generations ago with the GTX 1060. You had the 6GB version, which was totally fine. Then you had the 3GB version, which not only had a decreased amount of VRAM, but also had a decreased amount of CUDA cores, and was just a worse card overall. And you called it the same thing, but then you should have called it the 1050 Ti, but then they released a 1050 Ti and they released a 1050, and they didn't want to go below a 1050, so there's no 1040, there's only a 1030, and they had better options and they chose to go the most confusing one. Thank you, Nvidia. I appreciate you for confusing the crap out of me. And this confusing future that we're living in now, class action lawsuits are getting settled with in-game currency. Epic Games sending players V-Bucks, 1,000 V-Bucks. That's a lot. I don't know. I've never purchased anyways because of some loot box lawsuit that took place in their Save the World thing, which happened when Epic sold blind item loot boxes, which then they replaced with loot boxes where you could see what was going to be inside of them. Anyways, the settlement of this lawsuit will now be in digital currency that's not really real, because that's how you're supposed to feel things these days, my friends, through vicarious data bits on the internet. And I will stop being a vicarious data bit on the internet for you with this episode of Hot News because it is over. Why don't you check out yesterday's episode of Hot News if if you missed that, and check out the playlist right here in case you missed any episodes this week. You could do a whole full catch-up right over there. Anyways, I've been your Brett host. Thank you so much for watching the hottest tech news on the internet, and I will catch you in the second episode coming in a few hours. See you there, friends. Cheers.